Hello, cadets. Good morning. Today we are going to discuss the rules regarding verbs. You know that the most important part of speech is verb. Without verb, you cannot frame a sentence. So, at first, let's understand about verbs. You know that verb is a word that tells us some action. So, it's a action word. So, the kinds of verbs, there are two kinds of verbs, finite verb and non-finite verbs. So in non-finite verb, infinitive, gerund, participle, but remaining verbs are all finite verbs. So finite verb has a subject of its own and is limited by the person and the number of the subject. So the rules, when we see most of those rules related to finite verbs, but non-finite verbs are also very important, and some of the exceptions also you have to understand. So some examples here, she is playing tennis. So she is the subject, and since she is the subject, that's why is has come. The they is there, along with they what they were watching television. So they are or they were, and in the case of she is or she was. Transitive verb. So there are two kinds of verbs here, transitive verb and intransitive verb, and this categorization you can do it depending upon the object that is there in the sentence. If there is object, then it will be transitive verb. But if there is no object, then it will be intransitive verb. So the action of transitive verb passes over to the object. So when transitive verb will be there? Whenever there is object. So she is subject. She writes a letter. Writes is verb and letter is object. So she writes a letter. She teaches me. She subjective. Then me is objective. So she teaches me. Now in the case of intransitive verb, they won't be object. The action of intransitive verb does not pass over to the object. It goes back to the subject. For example, she cried a lot. She came on time. So here is there any object there? There is no object. She cried. Now here, no object means where the action has to pass on from subject to object. But here she cried. That action is only with her. She is crying. How much she has cried? She has cried a lot. So here you are describing how much she has cried. But here the action is not passing from subject to object. Whereas she writes a letter. Her writing work, that is passing from her to that letter. So she writes a letter. She teaches me. She is teaching me. So that action is passing over to the object. But in the case of intransitive verb, that doesn't happen. Okay, I hope you have got uh, difference between transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitive verbs alone can be used in passive voice. So transitive verbs alone can be used. If it's a passive voice, then it can be used alone. Now here, a letter was returned. She writes a letter. If you want to make it passive voice, what it will be? A letter. Now writes is there. It's in present tense. A letter is written. What it should be? A letter is written. So there's no need for you to use the now what subject that is there. Here there is no need for you to use. So transitive verbs alone can be used. Right? Now return. A letter is written. Like here she teaches me. I Yes, she teaches me. And yes, I'm taught. She teaches me. I'm taught. Or if you want, you can say I'm taught by her or I'm taught. That is what you can use. Well, when you want to convert into passive voice. Well, let's now here when they are saying transitive verbs alone can be used in passive voice. Yes, It's written. It's written. Spoken. So in that case, you can make use of it. Well, coming down to non-finite verbs. Non-finite, or when you want to make imperative sentence, go, come, then in that case you can use it. Right, non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are not limited by the person and the number of any subject. They are used without mentioning any subject. Now, non-finite verbs are of three kinds: infinitive, gerund, and participle. Now, infinitive means what? Infinitive, if it is used with to, base form of it. So base form, that's a infinitive form. So where to is used. She comes, which is a main verb here. Comes is a main verb. She comes here to study, but to study is infinitive here. See, there's a verb already there that tells us which tense is used there. That is comes. She comes. It tells us that it's in present tense. But to study, that is telling us yes about that, isn't it? So the next one, we saw them waiting for the bus. We saw them waiting for the bus. Now gerund, it is gerund here. We saw them waiting. Now it's a gerund. Why? Because though it's a verb, it's acting like a noun. Gerund. Now she likes reciting poem. She likes reciting poem here. She likes reciting that action. What is there? That is being described here. So she likes reciting poems. And this participle, which is like adjective that is being used here. She likes reciting poem. So waiting, that is functioning as verb as well as noun, and reciting functioning as adjective as well as noun. So she likes reciting poems. So first one, to study, that's infinitive. Waiting, that is gerund, and reciting, that is participle. So gerund here functioning like a noun here. So gerund, we saw them waiting. And remember, gerund and participles both are ing forms, whereas infinitive, it's a to form. So along with to, what we'll use? We'll use verb there. I hope you understood this. So some rules will take up, and then furthermore we'll take up some more rules. So rule number one, shall we see some more rules here? Right. When two or more subjects are joined by, as well as, like, unlike, besides, in addition to, with, together with, along with, and not rather than, no less than, except, nothing, but more than one, the verb is used according to the first subject. For example, the director as well as the dancers were honored by the public. So you have to use was. Why you have to use was? Because when two or more subjects are joined by as well as, the verb is used according to the first subject. So what is the first subject there? The director. So whenever as well as is there, then it depends upon the first subject, director. So that's why what should be there? Was should be there. The mother and not her children have been arrested for committing theft. The mother and not her children. So here what should come? Has should come. Has been arrested. So more men than one were absent yesterday. More men than one were absent yesterday. That's correct. Nothing but truth is mortal. That's also correct. My mother, no less than my father, is strict. I hope you understood this. Okay, let's see some more rules. When two or more subjects are connected by not only but also, neither nor, it's very confusing. These are all very important rules that we are looking at. Either or, none but, the verb according to the nearest subject. See there in that case, earlier rule what we have seen, the first. In the case of as well as, it depends upon the first subject. But here, when not only but also, neither nor is there, either or is there, then it will depend upon the nearest subject. That's the second subject. Neither the students nor their guide were found present in the common room. So what should come? Was should come. None but the leaders of our country is responsible. So none but the leaders, so are responsible. One or two books are needed, correct? Two books are needed. I or he is to be rewarded. He is. Am I or he to be rewarded. So any this one you can use it. Right. Let's go to rule number 3 now here. Neither, either, none, anyone, each, every used as pronoun or adjective should be followed by third person singular. Neither of the two boys have done it. Neither. Actually, you are saying that not even one of those two boys. So that's why has should be there. Each of the students. So you are referring to only one there. Is each, if it comes, be sure that it should be singular. Verb should be singular. Either of us has done his work. Every boy and every girl has been invited. Well, we'll go to the next one now. When none is used with countable nouns, both singular and plural verbs are correct. But with uncountable noun, singular verb is correct. None of the boys has or have done homework. That's correct. None of the work is completed. When each is used after subject, the verb is plural. We each have taken our bags. This is a kind of exceptional example. We each, they each are honest. So these are exceptions, but very rarely that will be asked in the exam. So let's see some more rules. When plural nouns explain specific amount, sum, distance, quantity, time, period. As a whole, the verb should be singular. For example, 4 miles are not a long distance. 4 miles is. When plural noun explains specific amount, then in that case, 4 miles is, not are. 200 rupees was a large amount 50 years ago. Was. 200 rupees were lost. 200 rupees were lost. Okay, I hope you understood this. As a whole, the verb should be singular, but 200 rupees. How much was lost? 200 rupees. In that case, plural you have to use. Now, this is also very, very important rule. Quite often it comes in the examination whenever many is used. Usually many are used. Should be followed by a singular noun and singular verb. Many accidents have recently taken place. Many and accidents have recently taken place. More than one man was absent. More men than one were burned. Okay, I hope you understood this. Let's go to some more rules. So let's see here some shortcut rules related to verbs. If the subject is of the third person, singular number, he, she, it. Now you know third person. First person is I, second person is you, and third person will be he, she, it. In the case of subjective form of the personal pronouns. Now you have to add es or ies to the first form of the verb to make it singular number. So this is quite easy. You're all familiar with all that. She plays the violin every day. So if every day is there, then it's a regular activity. Then in that case, what you have to use is simple present tense. So what will be the form of the verb? It will be plays. She loves his parents. Not yesterday, but still every day. She loves his parents. The dog barks at the people. Usual habit of it. The bird flies in the sky. He does his duty. Now here rule number 2. The following verbs are not usually in the continuous form. See, smell, feel, hear, notice, recognize, see. So particularly all these verbs related to sense. See, think, agree. It's wrong to say I'm thinking. I think, I agree, believe, consider, I remember, hope. We don't often say I am remembering. No, I remember. That, like that you say. Now, understand, hope, mind, suppose, hate. I hate her. I love her. Know, have, want. Quite often you don't say I am loving her. You just say I love her. Forgive, keep, prevent, etc. But they may be used in continuous forms in a particular. Only in rare cases, in a particular cases only we can use it. Oh, now I'm hearing in that case. I hear that. So he's having a telephone connection. It's wrong. He has a telephone connection. The flower is smelling sweet. Wrong. The flower smells sweet. Particularly all these which are referring to senses. There you shouldn't use ing form. Now if you're I am smelling this flower. The flower smells sweet. The fragrance. The manager is seeing your no, examining. Then when you are saying that, it means examining. In a particular situation only we'll use it. And they usually they will give this kind of question in the exam too. The present perfect tense should not be used with adverbs indicating past time. Present perfect tense. See, last night if it is there. Remember last night if it is there. I have seen a film last night. Wrong. Or I had seen a film last night. That is also wrong. If last night is there, when you're quite sure about that, when in that case you should use simple past tense. What should be used? Simple past tense should be used. I saw, last night, last week, last month, yesterday. In that case, what should be used? You have to use simple past tense. I saw a film last night. He has left for Hyderabad last week. He left for Hyderabad last week. He left for Hyderabad last week. Let's go to rule number 4. The present perfect tense with for or since, very important one, is used to express an action began at some time in the past and is still continuing upon the time of speaking. So long duration when it is shown. Then what kind of tense it has to be used? That you keep it in mind. And quite often we use perfect tense. What do we use? We use perfect tense. Let's see this. Since 1986. So it's a long period and it has begun in the past. It has continued for a long period. So I know him since 1986. It's wrong. I have known him. Actually, it should have been known. K-N-O-W-N, because that's the third form of it. And whenever you are using perfect tense, you are using the third form. I have known him since 1986. Now our teacher is sick for the last 2 days. Last 2 days, you are showing again time duration. So our teacher has been sick for the last 2 days. So let's go to next rule. Rule number 5. The present perfect continuous tense is also used for actions began in the past and are still continuing. So here you see since morning. I'm reading this. No, I have been reading. See, you are showing a time duration. When you are showing time duration, in that case, what should be used? You have to use perfect tense. So present perfect continuous tense, you can use it here. They are going to English class for the last 1 month, long duration. So then also what you have to use? Present perfect continuous tense has to be used. They have been going to English classes for the last 1 month. Very important rule. Okay, keep that thing in the mind. Okay, let's go to next rule. When the first action led to the second action, immediately the simple past tense plus simple past tense are used. When you open the gate, they came in. You open the gate, they came in. So it's kind of balanced there. Then in that case, because of first action, what has happened? Second action has taken place. Then in that case, you can use same. But if you want to differentiate, then what will you use? In that case, what you have to use? Okay, I think that is given there in the next example, rule number 7. Here, when both the actions take place simultaneously, then in that case you can use it. First action leading to the second action. But when the first action completed before the second one started, the past perfect tense for the first finished action and the simple past tense for the second one. The patient had died before the doctor arrived. So patient had died. That is the action which has taken place earlier, before, and then afterwards the doctor arrived there. So that's why simple past tense, but before that past perfect tense. Let's go to rule number 8. After negative sentences, the question tag used should be in an ordinary interrogative form. She didn't like that book. She did not like that book, did she? They have not told him the news. have the very important question tags. Remember, if it's a negative, it should be positive, and if it's a positive, it should be negative. Both the sentences, they are negative, so that's why both they are positive question tags. After positive statements, we use the negative interrogative. So I am a student, aren't I? Am I? We don't use, aren't I? We use. Let's play for some time. Shall we? He works hard. So here, doesn't he? It should be doesn't he? Because negative, it has to be. Let's play for some time. Let us. So then in that case, let us, we can use it. Okay, let's go to last rule here. When the verb in the principal clause is in past tense, the verbs in the subordinate clause are normally in the past tense. He said that he will pass the, no, he would pass the examination. They told me that, see here, a reporting verb that is used in past tense, then next it has to be past tense. They have paid wrong, they had paid the fees. I hope you understood all the rules related to verbs. Thank you. Goodbye.